to display allyship, other than, say, voting, protesting, intervening, or speaking up. I feel like those pretty much cover it. But there are other things, right, on a day to day basis with your colleagues, perhaps, that you're looking for to show you that, hey, I'm behind you. I support you. I want to understand your experience. I'm trying to be empathic towards your experience, right? So be thinking about what are those actions that I can engage in, that now that I have this greater sense of awareness, what are those actions that I can engage in that will help me to show that level of support for people who are different than me? Now, yeah, thanks, Kirs. Oh, Kirsten, I hope I pronounced that correctly. I love that spelling, by the way. Yeah, offering an understanding ear. In most of my educational spaces, starting from second grade all the way through high school, for the most part, into my undergraduate years, even though I went to the largest public institution in the state, I was still often the only Black person in many of my classes, into my master's program, into my doctoral program, right? So that experience was pretty common for me. Now, this picture of the sea of Black umbrellas with the single yellow umbrella may make it seem like being the only causes you to stand out. And that's true. There were times where obviously it's like, oh, there's only one Black person in here. It did cause me to stand out. But really, the thing that impacted me the most about being the only was the feeling of being invisible a lot of times. How many of you here in this virtual space have ever felt invisible, either because of your gender or your gender identity or your race or your ethnicity or your disability or some other part of your identity, right? Where there are people all around you, but you feel invisible. Or am I the only one who's had that particular experience? Right? Because that was a pretty regular experience. Oh, thanks, Anthony. Hi, interesting. Okay. Huh, that's my first time hearing that one with hi. Okay. Yeah. So for me, this wasn't just a one-time experience, honestly. It was a daily experience of not being invited to play on the playground, not being invited to birthday parties in elementary school, right? Not being included in conversations in class, not being called on by a teacher, a variety of things, right? That created that sense of invisibility. So when you're looking for ways to show allyship, right? This is a really big one that's fairly easy. Helping other people to feel seen, right? Whether it's because of their gender identity, their race, their ethnicity, their disability, their height. How can I help other people to feel seen?